I am out on a walk and it is a beautiful day and I just wanted to share some thoughts with you today. Okay, something that I've been thinking a lot about lately is gratitude and how important it is to our daily life. You might be surprised, but looking for things in your life to say thank you for, like just the smallest things, like right now, okay, there's a lot to say thank you for because this is the most beautiful weather. Being grateful for all that you have, it actually makes you happier. So you might not feel happy in the moment when you're like trying to be grateful or think of something to be grateful for, but it will produce happiness later on in your life. So I highly, highly, highly recommend you try your best to be grateful. I actually read this book a few years ago called 1000 Gifts, and she talks about gratitude and how it changed her life. And so I decided to try what she did. And I got a new notebook and I wrote 1000 gifts and I tried to come up with 1000 things I was grateful for. I don't know that I ever fully filled it. I think I got to like 400 or 500 things. Also, that wasn't the first time I've done that. Like when I was younger, I think I was probably 18, I did that before. And I know it sounds so simple, just writing down like things that you're grateful for, like a fresh, clean pair of sheets, a bowl of strawberries, or it could be something specific to your life, like getting the job I wanted, or the fact that I have enough money to pay for the things that I need. It's crazy how it does change your life. I remember when I did it a couple years ago, then I wrote down this list of like 500 things I was grateful for, and I just kind of like did it, and then I wasn't really thinking about it. The next day, it's weird, it like takes time to catch up. I was just like living my life, you know, whatever. Suddenly, like, I remember I was driving, it was out of nowhere. I felt this rush of feeling so happy, like so genuinely, deeply happy that came from nowhere. Kidding, like there was nothing that was going on in that day that like I randomly would have been happy about. Like it was completely out of nowhere, just like this, like hit me like this thing of emotion. That being said, if you're struggling with like darkness or unhappiness, those are feelings that deserve to be felt, but there's also an element of gratitude missing. Okay, I turned around, it's really shadowy now. Hello. But so much of life is about your perspective. Like one person could see something and another person could see it a completely different way. Same situation. I read this book called The Noticer a while back, and that was a similar kind of vibe. And in one of the chapters, he talked about perspective, and he said, to a poor man, a can of beans could be like a royal feast because he's starving. As a person that's maybe struggling to make ends meet and they have 5 cans of beans, they're like, oh, all I have is beans. Like, to one person, it's completely different from another person's perspective. Yeah, I challenge you and I encourage you, if you want to be happy, give gratitude a try. I challenge you, write down a list, all the things, as many as you can. I started thinking about it lately is because my mom gave me a journal for Lent, so like 40-ish days ago, 47, I don't know, and it had a gratitude list at the end of every page. I was writing down things I was grateful for every night, and that really started shifting my perspective. Like, I feel like it made me happier and it made me stop thinking about myself. So I was telling my sister, like, I told you guys, like, I started working at the homeless shelter once a week, like a month and a half ago. And every time I drive home from it, I feel like a different person. Like, I can't stop thinking about all the kids because I take care of kids while I'm there, and it just completely changes my perspective. Now we're going real deep. And this is like pretty much my life philosophy. Like this is the core of, I feel like how I view the world. Okay, so when I was 12, my uncle gave me this book called Works of Love or Works of Peace. What it is it's a photo journal of Mother Teresa's missionary in India. Teresa's mission. I didn't say that right. Anyways, the whole book is all these photos of Mother Teresa and the other sisters and volunteers working with the poor. There's also a bunch of prayers from Mother Teresa, and the words that she speaks in that book are incredible and life-changing, and I feel like it like struck me as a 12-year-old. Yeah, when I was a teenager, I actually printed out one of the quotes from Mother Teresa, and I'll have to find the full quote for you guys, but I printed this out and hung it on my wall. I was probably 15 or 16, and it said, "At the end of our life, we will not be judged by how much money we have made, how many great things we have done, how many degrees we got." Like, that's basically the gist of it. That's not how we are going to be judged at the end of our lives. Teresa says, we will be judged by, I was hungry and you gave me food. I was naked and you clothed me. I was homeless and you took me in. Hungry not only for bread, but hungry for love. Naked not only for clothing, but naked of human dignity and respect. And homeless not only for want of a room of bricks, but homeless because of rejection. This is Christ in distressing disguise. I had that on my wall like every day as a teenager. Meanwhile, I wasn't doing really anything to help like Christ in disguise. I was just being a teenager. I did have that quote there, and it definitely like, I feel like after seeing it like so many times, I would just kind of read it when I was laying in my bed and think about it. And so that kind of became like this thing that struck the core of me. This is Christ in distressing disguise. Like finding Christ in those moments. Finding Christ in the homeless man on the corner, or the girl at your school that's being bullied or that nobody wants to sit with and she's all by herself. The reason I shared that is because thinking about like the kids at the homeless shelter, I feel like that is Christ. And when I like pick them up and hug them and love them, and I am encountering Christ, and that has given my life more meaning than anything, more than any concert, any achievement, any milestone. I feel like that is where you find true happiness, in service, in serving and trying to help other people. That is where you find happiness. Maybe because I was on a walk and I was like, oh, it's so pretty today, like I should share some stuff with the Snapchat fam, but I had no idea what I was gonna say. And then that whole rant just came out, so yeah, there you go. I never want to sound like preachy or anything. Ugh, I'm just trying to share what's going on in my life. So yeah, you get what I'm saying. You get it. You guys, and I encourage you to hang up that quote in your room too if you need something like that, because it's a life changer to like think about what really matters. Holy Ghost, fall down on me. Let your spirit. I'm going to show you guys because I made this journal last night and I was really proud of it, and I thought it was so cute and pretty, and it's for an awesome woman named Melissa. Oh yes, favorite place.
Wearing some.
Should you go, Kat? Filming dinner.
What? Okay, guys, I want to.
Sorry.